Hello everyone, welcome to our first Stitches and Scribbles crochet tutorial, although it's not really a tutorial. When I do crochet projects, I like to experiment as I go. I very rarely follow a pattern, so I figured I would take you along with me today to show you that process. First off, when I do crochet or knitting projects, I like to keep them in baskets just to make sure everything is contained, so my yarn will sit right in there. The yarn I'm using today is Twister yarn by Hobbii, which is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic, and it is in the color number 18, although I believe it was called Jungle on the website, but their labels don't have the color name on them. This ball of yarn has over 1,000 yards in it, and it's a fine size too. One of the things I already noticed about Hobbii that I really like is that all of their yarns have an easy start center pull tab, so I'll be using that today. I am looking to make a shawl today. My goal is to make a triangle shawl that has long ties on the end because I've seen some of those patterns circulating on Pinterest and other sites, so I'm hoping to make one very similar, but I'll show you the process as we go along today. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do, pull some yarn out so that I have some to work with. First thing I'm going to do is start with a slip knot and make a magic ring. Since I've never made a shawl before, my goal is kind of to create that triangle shape by using increases at the bottom corner. So that's what I'm going to try to set up with my magic loop today. And I'm going to do double crochets into the magic loop. So I started with my chain 3, and now I'm going to do some double crochets right into that loop that I started with. So now I have 4 stitches, including that first set of chain 3. So I'm going to make my corner now. So I'm going to chain 3 and then do 4 double crochets back into that magic loop to make the other side of my corner. And then I can pull that magic loop a little bit, make it a little bit tighter. And there's the start of my triangle shawl. One of the things I also know about making shawls is that sometimes this center point ends up looking like a bump in the middle. So I may also be adding some increases on the very edges of those 2 points to try to combat that, but you'll see the process as we go through of how that works out. So I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 3, and that counts as my first double crochet. So then I'm going to double crochet in the second loop, skipping the first one because we just made that chain 3. And 2, 3. So now I've double crocheted in all of my previous stitches, and I'm starting at that chain 3. So I'll do 1 more double crochet in the first chain, and another double crochet in the second chain. And now I need to make my corner again. So I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to double crochet back in that same second chain. And then I'm going to double crochet all the way to the end. So I can already see that the top is starting to get a little bit more curved than I want to, although the rest of the triangle looks really nice. So I think on this row I'm going to go ahead and put 2 double crochets in the first and last stitches of the row, but keeping my increases in that same spot in the second chain of the corner. So this time I'm going to chain 3, and I am going to double crochet in that very first loop so that I have 2 stitches in the same stitch from the previous row. And I'm going to double crochet all the way to that corner. And just like before, now that I have my double crochet in that second chain, I'm going to chain 3 and double crochet in that same chain again. And then double crochet all the way to the end. And since I started with 2 double crochets in the first stitch on the last one, I'm going to put 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3 on this stitch. Okay, so spoiler alert, I'm already not really liking how this looks because of how sharp that angle is, even with my decreases added. So I think I'm going to try again and start with a different method. Okay, so this time I think I'm going to change a few things. First of all, I think I'm going to start with single crochet in the first couple rows to see how those stitches are building up, and I'm going to start with the increases on the edges right away at the beginning to see if that helps the issue from before. So instead of chaining 3, I'm going to start by just chaining 2, and then I'm going to create my stitches in that loop. So I already made one by chaining, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and then add 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now if I pull that magic loop tight, I should have that triangle shape again, which I do. So that one seems already a little bit flatter across the top, but I'll see what happens with the next row. So the next row I'm going to chain 2 to be my first single crochet, and instead of putting both of my stitches in the first one, I think I'm going to try putting both stitches in the second stitch. So 1, 2, and then single crochet across the rest. Now I'm single crocheting into the first of those chain 3s. So 1, 2 into the second chain 3. I think I'm only going to chain 1 in the middle this time. Go back in. Single crochet across the other side until the second to last stitch, where I'm going to put in 2 single crochets. Here's where that second to last single crochet is, so I'm going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and that 1 chain stitch at the end. I'll do 1. Okay, I think I'm going to try to continue with double crochet now that I've kind of got a tighter foundation, and see how that goes. So I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to go to the next one, so 2 double crochet in that next stitch. Then double crochet all the way to the corner. Remember, I only did 1 single crochet in the corner this time, or 1 chain stitch. So I'm going to double crochet into that chain stitch, chain 3, and double crochet back into that same chain stitch, and then double crochet to the edge, making sure to do 2 double crochets in the second to last stitch. This is that second to last stitch, so I'm doing 2 and 1 in the top of that chain 3. Okay, I can already tell I'm liking this shape a lot better. One of my other goals for this shawl was to have some bead stitches in there, so I think I'm going to try to do that this round. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 across, and bead stitches go in every other stitch, so I should be able to do that. So I'm going to chain 3. Oops. I'm going to double crochet 2 into the next stitch, so 1, 2, so that I still get that increase. And now I'm going to start a bead stitch in the double crochet closest to my hook. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through around the post, yarn over again, pull through around the post, yarn over around the post one more time, pull through all but the last loop, and then pull through both. And that's what makes that bead kind of not looking stitch. So then I'm going to skip the next spot. I'm going to double crochet and do a bead stitch again. Skip the next spot and do another bead stitch. One more bead stitch. So this is the tricky part. I don't really want bead stitches in the corner, so I'm now starting the section where I have that chained corner. So I think I'm going to do the corner like I normally would. So double crochet in the first chain, double crochet in the second chain, chain 3, and double crochet back in that same chain, and double crochet in the third chain. Now I'm going to continue doing bead stitches along this side, making sure to stop to do my decreases at the end of the row. I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch and use that as the foundation for my bead. This will be our last bead stitch. I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And 1 double crochet in the chain. Actually wait, because now I'm seeing I have 3 double crochet stitches on that side and only 2 on that side, so I need to undo 1. Oh, because I forgot to skip a stitch after the bead stitch. That's why. I don't need the increase there. Okay, so I can see I've still got a pretty uniform triangle. I think I'm going to try to do a row of double crochets in between each row of bead stitches, or maybe 2 rows of double crochets so that the beads are more spaced out. And I will check back with you later to show progress, but you're going to keep continuing doing a normal double crochet row where there's a double crochet, 2 double crochet in the second stitch in the row, those chain 3 stitches in the corner, and the increase on the other side as well. So I will check back later to show progress. Alright, and just a couple days later, the shawl is completed. So you can see in this stitch pattern, I continued down the shawl with 2 rows of all double crochet followed by 1 row of those bead stitches, adding the increases the same way that I was doing in the corners and on the edges. I did still get a little bit of that rounded shape at the top of my shawl, so I will probably have to block it, in order to get that to go away, but you don't really notice it when it's on. And the yarn I was using worked up beautifully for that nice ombre, ending with the navy blue all the way down at the edge. I am in the process of writing up the full pattern, so if you are interested in the pattern, I will link it below when it is ready on my Etsy shop. Otherwise, I might be doing another video with a full tutorial of this now that I have the pattern figured out. But thank you for watching my crochet experiment with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gave you some ideas. Hello and welcome to Scribbles and Stitches. This is going to be our very first video that is being recorded for this channel, so we're going to start off with a yarn haul. So I ordered yarn from Hobbii, which is a company from Denmark. This is the first yarn haul that I'm filming, so I thought I'd go through and share it with you guys. First thing I ordered, I actually already unwrapped it in order to take the picture for my banner, but the first thing I ordered was this pack of rainbow yarn from Hobbii. Take one out so you can see it. So this is a 100% cotton yarn. It came in a variety of colors, and it was a really good deal on sale, which is why I picked this one out. A whole bunch of colors. I'm thinking about using it for a kimono or some sort of a summery sweater and putting all those colors together. And I actually have a second pack of that rainbow yarn as well, in more of kind of pastel and other bright colors. Some of them are duplicates from the other pack, so if I run out of those colors I can use these. The next couple things in here are the Hobbii ribbon yarn. I read online that these are really good for making baskets. I was thinking about making some baskets for my apartment, but I just moved, so I wanted to see where I needed baskets before I made any. So these are actually yarns that my friend purchased, and we put it in the same order to save on shipping, because right now, and I think for a little while longer, Hobbii has some special deals for shipping if you pay over a certain amount. So this is the ribbon yarn in color 6. They do their colors by number instead of with color names. So it's this really nice, almost like t-shirty material, thick yarn. And then she also ordered it in color 29, so there's quite a bit in there to make some more baskets. Next thing is the Tivoli yarn, which is 100% acrylic. I'll go ahead and open this one so that we can see it a little bit more closely. So the Tivoli is nice and squishy. Like I said, it's acrylic. This is color number 55, which is kind of like an emerald tealy green. And this one I was going to make a cocoon cardigan or some sort of a sweater with it. Hobbii does have some really nice deals if you buy yarn in packs. It's a lot cheaper than if you got each one individually, which is why I picked this one out. Alright, we have another ribbon in there, another one of that kind of dark gray color. And next thing is the Cotton Kings cone. I got these, I wasn't sure on the yardage. I want to make a really lacy kimono cardigan for over the summer, which is why I picked a thin yarn and 100% cotton. This is color number 20. I did get 2 of them, which will probably give me some extra. I wasn't sure how much the kimono cardigan would use, so I got 2 in each color that I'm going to make this out of, and hopefully I'll have some extras to make maybe some little items like washcloths or bags to hold some other stuff. So nice 100% cotton cone yarn. Then I have the same thing in kind of a lilac color. Let me find the number. And that is color number 41. So the nice spring green and also a lilac color. Alright, next one I got is the Hobbii Twister, which is a yarn cake. Twister is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic, and this is color number 18. I think it had a name online, but it's not showing the names on here. I think this one was called Jungle or something, but it's got a really nice light blue in the middle with some appley green, teal, burgundy, and black. One thing I noticed about the Hobbii yarns already, they all have this easy start tab for center pulling yarn to make it really nice and easy to find. Right, in the bottom I've cut some of the We Love Yarn Mega Balls. So I got one in, what color was this? Color 402, which is like kind of a creamy color. So I got 2 of those and 2 of color 419, which is like kind of a burgundy purplish pink color. And both of those I'm hoping to make some sweaters out of for the coming winter, since now we're quarantined, I have nothing else to do. Another nice thing about Hobbii is that if you order a certain amount, they do include free gifts. So because of when I ordered, a crochet hook was included. So that's our yarn haul for today. I'm hoping to make some awesome projects out of all this stuff and hopefully post some tutorials soon.